Hey everyone, Danielle here. My pronouns are she, her. Today is Saturday, October 11th, and we're here to discuss Survivor Stitching. So, I already forget what week we're on. Was this week 3? I think so. Yeah. So, this is Acorns and Friends. It is my project for the yellow tribe, Hina, and it got 125 stitches because the yellow tribe won and again, like as I've said in the previous videos, I do spoilers. So, the yellow tribe did win the combination reward and immunity challenge. So for me, that's 125 stitches. And I don't stitch for second place, so just for first place. So what I added, I did 125 stitches exactly, and I continued this tree branch, or sorry, this like tree trunk. There are still like 6 stitches of this color out here, but I ran out of floss right here, and I was like, those 6 stitches are going to be for future Danielle's problem. So after, because like I had this branch and below, so I just basically did everything up here, and that got me to 111 stitches. So then I came over here and basically like I did these few stitches just right here. This color is getting close to being done. I'm just not sure if I can fit it in the Q-snap because there's like a cluster way down here that I just am not sure if I can get in the Q-snap. And then it runs across here like this. And then there's another cluster down there. And that leads up to the tree. So this color is very close to being done. So I think, but unless like next week, Hina does more than win reward and immunity, like I think somebody would have to be, because I think there's still like 200 stitches. So I need more than 125 for sure. But yeah, so like maybe I could see a color complete. We'll see. So next, get ready to see the dog. There he is. So the other project that I worked on, the red tribe did not see any attention because, like I said, they won second place for reward and immunity. Nobody went on a journey. Okay, so technically, the red tribe did find the beware advantage, but they have to lose a challenge before they're gonna get, before they will get another clue to the hidden immunity idol. They have to lose a challenge. So even though somebody did like become in possession of the beware advantage, nobody technically found an idol yet. So no stitches for that. And nobody went on a journey. They won second place, so nobody got voted off. So nothing to the red tribe. So this is Beachcomber, which is my project for the blue tribe. Now, normally, if this had been like a normal week on Survivor, this would have been a super low stitch count for me. Like this would have been bare minimum stitch count because I would have done the 125 for the yellow tribe and I would have done 150 for the blue tribe because they lost and somebody got voted out. However, I think I have to sneeze. It won't come. Okay. However, so at the beginning of the episode, one of the tribe members on the blue tribe, which was down to like 4 members, They were just like sitting on the beach, and okay. I'm gonna go out and like talk a little bit of my own personal theory. He claims that he was just sitting on the sand, like sort of in the water, but not like fully in the water. You know how where like the surf will hit you, right? But then it pulls back and then it hits you again. He was kind of sitting there. And a snake that he didn't even see just came up to him and bit him on the foot. I personally have a little bit of a hard time believing that now, okay, I'm not saying that he like provoked, like that he was trying to be an idiot, okay? I'm not saying that he was like, trying to mess with the snake or anything. But like maybe just like, oh, snake, get away from me, like splashing at it maybe, or you know what I mean? Like just something like out of a self-preservation perhaps. Because, and I say this because this guy that this happened to, his name is Jake, and he is a corrections officer. And also, so like, I mean, like, I'm sorry, I don't have, and again, like, I'm not trying to make broad generalizations here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't discriminate against people, based off of their skin color, profession, you know what I mean, right? But, like, law enforcement and law enforcement adjacent professions, are like, if we are speaking in generalizations, they can be a little like aggressive or a little like needing to have control over situations. And also there's further like context. So since he's been on the island, like day one, he doesn't know anybody, right? He decides that he wants his thing to be that he's gonna steal people's shoes, but not like one shoe of their pair. He's gonna steal them and just go place it like 20 feet away, 30 feet away, right? Like and it's not like super hidden, like they'll be able to find it, but just stealing people's shoes. And like, first of all, I think that is incredibly immature. I think it's incredibly juvenile. Yeah, immature and juvenile. And then when you add the context of him being a corrections officer, to me, it just makes it feel like manipulative, abusive, controlling. From the minute he did it the first time, he did it at least twice. I just thought, like, wow, that's like, it just gave me major red flag, major red flag vibes about like him as a person. So he's sitting on the beach in the water, and a snake that he doesn't even see comes up to him and bites his foot. So somebody from the show comes over to him, like takes a picture of it with their cell phone so that they can send it to the doctors at the base camp. And now normally, like when medical comes in Survivor, medical almost always, I've never seen this before, medical always comes to the player at their camp or at wherever the challenge is, because that's oftentimes when medical is needed. But they actually sent a boat to get him from the camp and took him to the base camp for the, where all the people, where all the people stay, the normal people, the doctors and everything. And like it was scary because as the boat was pulling up, so like he was okay. He was like kind of in shock, but he was conscious. He was sitting up. He was fine. But like as the boat is pulling up, and they can't see him, they're shouting to the boat, like, is he conscious? Is he breathing? Like, they were freaked out that they were, getting like a severely in distress person. And I learned something new from the incident, which is that apparently at their camps, they have a handbook that like goes over anything they might encounter, be that wildlife or like different food sources or whatever, that like tells you, is this safe, is this dangerous, right? And so before the boat even came to get him, one of the other tribe members went and got their handbook, and they found that snake in the handbook, and it said that it is highly venomous. So they get him, they get him off the boat. They immediately put him on a stretcher, put him on oxygen. They suspected straight away that he thankfully did not, that the bite was what they call a dry bite. So the snake did not dispatch any venom in the bite. It would be more like a warning bite of like, hey, just, get away from me. I don't like that you're here. And so he was, he was probably fine, like, but they had to treat him as if he did get venom. And just due to, the nature of the game, like, he's already been out there for like 5 days with basically no food, not very much water. You're living like in the dirt and sand. It's not sanitary conditions. And so the doctors could not feel, safe or confident, putting him back into those conditions. And so they had to medically evacuate him from the game. So I decided that since that is such an incredibly rare event to happen in Survivor, to actually be medically evacuated from the game, that I would do 250 stitches for that. Because so my highest stitch count is when somebody is voted out, and that's 150. So it's like, it has to be more than 150 because it's so rare. So not only did they get the medical evacuation, 250 stitches, but then they went to the immunity challenge. They lost the immunity challenge, so somebody went home. So that was 400 stitches, y'all. So the 400 stitches I did was, and then just to continue on the whole, I'm not sure I totally believe that he was just sitting there and a snake he didn't even see came up and bit him. Jeff said that, so they film in Fiji. They have been filming in Fiji for 10 years, like consecutively for 10 years. They do 2 seasons a year. They are out there all year, basically, to film. I mean, they might get a few months where they're, not, well, actually, I think they film back to back. So because they film back to back, I think they are there like at least 6 months, right? So they're there half of the year for the last 10 years. They have never had an issue happen with this particular species of wildlife, and they employ a lot of local people. And they asked, like, over the course of this event unfolding, they asked like all of their, crew members and, anybody who was local, if they had had any experiences or knew of any experiences, and nobody did. So, I'm not saying that it's not possible that this particular snake was just uber aggressive and did not like the fact that there was somebody sitting there. But I'm just saying, I feel like there's a lot stacked against the situation. But anyways, regardless, like, I'm glad he's fine, like, I don't wish, and apparently, according to Jeff, this snake is 10 times more dangerous than a rattlesnake. So definitely very, if he had gotten venom in the bite, like, I mean, he definitely could have died, like, for sure. So I'm super glad nothing actually bad happened to him. It was a very scary thing, especially because he went out to Survivor like while his wife was pregnant, and she was probably going to be like delivering while he was away from to do the game. And so it was very scary to like know that your wife is at home waiting for you, you know, pregnant with your baby, and you just got bit by something that could kill you. Like, but like, I'm glad he's okay. But I'm also really glad that he's not in the game anymore. Really, really glad. So anyways, I finished this belly off. I had to like do those little stitches and then the rest of the belly. And that finished this critter. He's completely done. And then the same white color was over here in this puffin's face. I think this is a puffin. And then I had to do the beak, which you can see was these two colors, and the foot, which was the orange color. And now this is done. And then I started and finished the whole crab. So the crab is all done. And then was able to start the, this is like a sea lion. So 3 critters are completely done that I did not have any of when I started this. And the last critter is started. I think the next time I have to work on it though, I might bring these borders down to the bottom, because if I could place these bottom borders, I might be able to like a lot of these colors. So like actually this dark color is done. This was a $37.99 is done. But like this color is still in it. These 2 colors are still prominently in it. And if I had those bottom borders in, I might be able to like start doing some of the stuff that's down here. Which is basically, I have to take this top part, which you can't really see because of the Q-snap, but there's like 2 starfish and a sand dollar and a clam, and then all these little dots. I have to repeat all that down here. So if I could get the borders in, then that would help me be able to count to other places. But I could certainly just focus on the sea lion until he's done too. So the only thing is that I suspect that this piece may not get too much more attention other than maybe for a couple weeks, because next week they're gonna shake up the tribes. There's only 14 people, so that does not, in my mind, I don't see them rebalancing it with 3 tribes, because what can you do with 14 and 3 tribes? Like that math doesn't math very well. They could do 2 tribes of 7, which is a high possibility, or they could just merge. I don't think I've ever seen them merge with more than 12. But the way that they've been playing the game the last few seasons, like after the merge, whenever they go to the immunity challenge and the reward challenge, they still have been like breaking them up into 2 or 3 different like little mini tribes, like just for the challenge. So like everybody will win immunity. Like, so you'll go to tribal council and 6 people or 5 people will automatically just have immunity. So they could just merge, like, and just be like, oh, you know, doesn't matter how many people we actually have, we're still gonna break them up into groups. But what I think I might do, I had talked about at the merge, like picking 3 more whips and doing 2 whips per player. I don't know that I want to adopt any more whips into this, because like my space is a little chaotic for me. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna track just who was on the original tribes. You know, like if you were a yellow tribe member, you automatically get acorns and friends. And if you were a red tribe member, you automatically get coffee and eggs. And if you were a blue, which there's only 2 of them left, you're getting this one. So that's why I say like this might not get too much more attention, because it's potential for if they merge together, well, and even if they go separate, 2 separate tribes, like those two members, it's going to go one of two ways. Either they're going to get picked off immediately because they have nobody to help them, or they're going to be the most valuable players in the game because there's 6 yellow members and there's 6 red members. So in order to break that deadlock, you need somebody else. You need to bring in somebody else. So they could either go super fast or they could become a member of a majority alliance and hang around for a little while. They would obviously be at the bottom of that majority alliance. So yeah, and maybe I'll do a thing where if the last member of a tribe gets voted out, then I'll do, instead of doing 150 stitches for that particular exit, I will do like 300 stitches for that exit, just because they're like the last person, so no more things can happen for them. So I'll do like 300 stitches for a vote out of, and I think also what I would like to add to my list is, or maybe it should just be under special power, but I think I'd like to add if somebody plays a hidden immunity idol, or if somebody plays their shot in the dark. So maybe like 100 stitches for playing a hidden immunity idol and like 50 stitches for playing a shot in the dark, just because those are also kind of rare events. Like, people find idols all the time. It doesn't mean that they play them. So, yeah, I think I will add that to my spreadsheet of potential things to stitch for. But anyway, this clip has gone on way too long. Sorry, y'all. If you're not interested in Survivor, you probably aren't watching anyways. But yeah, so this is the stitching I did for Survivor. So it was 525 stitches this week, and I'm really enjoying this. I did slog through this a little bit though. I just wasn't really in the mood to do it. I had a new start, and so I was kind of excited about that, but I was like, no, I want to get this done. I've been, if you're following me on Instagram, you might see that I've been doing Halloween movie marathon stitching with my spooky pieces, and so I'm like just excited about that. I want to get back to that. So that's what I'm about to do, is pick my new start back up and watch another Halloween movie. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.